What's happening, troops? You may or may not know, but soon we'll be holding the open enrolment for the Comic Book Fiend Club, so I thought I'd talk a little bit about the club and a whole lot about the chapter I'm in charge of, the international chapter. So guys, I'll start this off and I'll talk about the club itself. I'll try and keep this video nice, short and sweet and full of the information you want, and also probably a little tidbits that you really don't give a fuck about. But let's get into it anyway. So the Comic Book Fiend Club is a social club based on Instagram. It also has Facebook, Twitter and YouTube, so we've been expanding out, but the main thing we started on was Instagram. It's 6 years young, so it's a very young social club in the comic book industry, but at the same time, social media wise, it's definitely been blowing up. I think we're almost at 12k followers, which to be honest is amazing. It's not something that we don't do it for the followers. In fact, we just simply do it because we love doing it. Now, it was started by Aaron, Merc with a beard, and Steve, the Bataholic. Now, Aaron is the main founder and Steve is the co-founder of the club. It started off with only 4 members, which is amazing to think the fact that now it's actually over 100 members spanning across 6 different chapters. Now, as it grew, it originally was only 4 chapters. You had the East, the Midwest, the West and the South, all based in America. They started to expand a little bit and you found members from Canada joining the East and then one joining the West, and you also had myself and another member from England, Capes and Collectibles, joining the West. Now that was the beginning of the small expansion that was going to become Asked. Now, I asked Aaron the other day, why did you start the club? Now we all know the real answer, but I wanted to hear it from his mouth. So he said the exact same thing that we all say, and that's it was to help grow this amazing comic community. He wanted to show how vast it really was, and he also wanted to make connections for us comic geeks to all become a one big sort of happy family, or dysfunctional family as you probably could call it. And it also helped us open connections with artists, like all the different comics that we've been able to be on front covers of, which is absolutely amazing for just a social comic club. So we've opened so many doors, we've gained great relationships with artists and writers alike, and just people who genuinely love the comics, not even people that are just in the Fiend Club, but generally the comic community in itself, which is absolutely amazing. It also helped us open the doors for all the many charities that we do, and you probably see us post a lot of times. So we do comics for the military, comics for our future, which is for kids, and then we also do Halloween trick or treat and some Christmas events, etc. All the stuff goes to the local hospitals, be it a bag of goodies. Sometimes, unfortunately, due to the whole COVID, we've had to only do donations, but any little thing helps right now. So we were trying to do the best we could do for these kids who are not only are in a horrible time, like I couldn't imagine being a kid right now, but they're also stuck in hospital. It's made me such a happy and proud member of this club to see what these guys do. So now that I've covered what the Comic Book Fiend Club is, I'm sure any member would be happy to talk your ear off about what it means to them, but I was just giving you a quick idea of what the club is. Let's talk about the international chapter. Now, when I joined as the West chapter. I also joined along with Capes and Collectibles. The next enrolment we brought in CCC TV, also known as Calvert Comics. So that meant in the West chapter we had 3 different UK members, 2 from Scotland, 1 from England. We spoke numerous times with Steve and Aaron all about what we were going to do and how we were going to expand this comic club and make what is now today the international chapter. It was a hard task because we had to look at not only the fact that the time zones are going to be completely different for a lot of the members we could take in, there's a language barrier, and to be honest, comics have been getting bigger and bigger in the UK recently and all across the world, but we didn't know what challenges this task would actually have for us. So we took it on, and sure as fate, when we started, I was put as president, Scott was put as VP, and I put Connor as my officer. Now, the 3 of us took on this task and we took in 3 members, which was Comics and Kilos from England. We also then took on another member from Ireland, and we also took on one of the best guys I know, the Swedish Berserker. As you can tell, he's from the Netherlands. So these 6 members, we were going to be the start of the international chapter. Where does the international chapter expand to? Everywhere and anywhere. If you're not from Canada, you're not from America, then you're going to apply for us, the international chapter. And honestly, we look forward to seeing all the applications. So far, we've had so many crazy applications. Not in the fact that they actually are mental in themselves, just from where they're from. We've had Brazil, we've had Japan, you name it. We've probably had an application from there. Unfortunately, we don't let everyone in at once. It's hard to get to know you guys. It tends to be that people pop up for enrolment in April and we get a month to really suss them out. It's hard to judge your character because at the end of the day, especially for the entire comic club, we just want people that fit in with us. So we have to think of that in the international, but we also think of things like time zones. We have to think of the fact that there may be a language barrier, which would never hold you back, but it'd be brilliant if we could bring in 2 people that speak the same language, so that if there is ever a language barrier, they aren't just left talking to themselves or confused. They'd have someone else to bounce off of, and we could all use Google Translate if needed to make it work. Luckily, everyone we've brought in so far across all the countries has spoke very good English. Even the Aussie, although I know it's hard to believe because I'm Scottish and you've probably watched this entire video saying what the hell is he even saying, but it's really hard to understand the Australian accent. There's only one word that we all know, and that's because Scottish people say it all the time. Don't worry, I'm not going to say it because I know it pisses you off. So I'm sure the big question you're probably asking yourself right now is, where do you actually have members? So we have members in Scotland, England, Ireland, Netherlands, even though he's Swedish, Germany, Portugal, even though we're pretty sure that's not even a real country, and Australia. So right now we've got a good expansion, but we still plan on expanding more. So it's going to be really exciting over the next couple of years to see how much this chapter expands and what other countries not only do we grow in that we already are in, but we grow into that we're not already in. If that makes sense. You know, I've been doing this video so long I'm even confusing myself. So that's pretty much the international chapter where we are. What is it we do? We do the same as everyone watching this video. We collect comics, we go to Comic Cons, and we just enjoy the comic community. I mean, at the end of the day, we don't know when Comic Cons are going to start again, so it's great to have this aspect where you can talk socially online about comics and bitch about what writer you don't like, or bitch about what artist you don't like, or hell, even talk about something you do like. I don't know if comic fans or Star Wars fans or any type of geeky fans actually do that, but I'm sure we like something. Like I said, I want to try and keep this short and sweet. The main important part you will probably want to watch is the Q&A. That's the part that everyone's interested in and will always be interested in, is asking the questions, getting the straight answers. I know these videos are kind of short and not got much information, but at the end of the day, there's not much to this. We're just a comic club. We enjoy comics, we enjoy the comic community. That's all we're here to do. So let's get into the Q&A, because let's face it, most of you are probably here to watch that, especially people that are trying to apply for other chapters. So I'll quickly bang out that and then we can call it a day, huh? You don't have to listen to me yammer on anymore. So the biggest question that we always get asked is there a subscription fee? Is there a fee to join? No. The only thing that we ask is that you pay for your own patches when you get in. It's that simple, and it's just because you don't get anything for free. We have the supplier of the best patches that we can possibly make. We have tried again other places, but they just don't make the quality that the one that we do. So all we ask is that you pay for the patches, like the ones at the beginning of the video, and that's just so we can all rep in uniform and in unison and look really cool together. Question 2. What type of comics do you need to collect to get in? It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're currently reading the new books, if you're reading old books, if you're collecting just grails because you like slabs. It really doesn't matter what you're collecting. You just need to be into the medium itself, which is comic books. We don't really care which ones you're into. For us, the biggest thing, and I say it time and time again, it's about fitting in with us. It's not about what comics you collect or who has the best collection. That's never what it will be about, and it never will be about. It's about fitting in, enjoying each other's company, being able to go to cons and have a laugh. There's no point in joining a club if you're not enjoying it. Life is far too short for that stuff. That's why I love the Comic Book Fiend Club, because it is just that simple. It is just a bunch of people that really enjoy each other's company. Because if we don't have that, then what do we have? Question 3. Will I be able to post what I want on my Instagram and other social medias? There's no reason why we'd have to monitor your posts or tell you what to post. It's your Instagram, it's your social media, you should post what you want. As long as you're not being hateful and nasty towards someone, then it's nothing to do with us what you post. You don't have to have a set amount of comic books, you don't have to post a comic every week or whatever misinformation's out there. Personally, sometimes I forget to post my comics, sometimes I don't get a chance to post, or sometimes I just post my daughters, because at the end of the day, they're as much my life and family as the Comic Book Fiend Club are. Question 4. Do I need to be involved with every single charity? No. We know that we do a lot of charities. We also know that we promote a lot of GoFundMe pages, especially for people in the comic community that might not get the reach that we do, so we'll deliberately get almost all our members or everyone that we can to flood Instagram with it, just to give them a helping hand. If we have a wee bit extra cash, of course you're going to put it in there, or if you have extra comics, of course we're going to send them in, but we know that we do a lot of charity events. We don't expect someone to fork up every single time. At the end of the day, charity should be something you're doing to feel good, and if you have the chance to. It's not something that's forced. It never will be. Therefore, it wouldn't be charity. It'd just be another gun to your head telling you you have to do this. I don't know where that misinformation came from. I think sometimes there's a stigma between the club because people see how we look, or see a bunch of comic book geeks turning up wearing the vest and they maybe get intimidated. And I really hope that's not the case, because if you come and speak to any of us at a con, especially international guys, and I mean every chapter's the same, but especially international guys, because they're the ones I know and love, we're nice people. We only want to talk comics. We're happy to talk to you for hours on end, and in fact, if you come up to me and talk about Turtles, I probably will be talking to you for hours on end. Question 5. Do I need to attend certain cons? No. There's no reason to attend certain ones. We do try and do meetups, especially the international chapter. That's very hard due to the fact that we're across so many countries. So we will try and say, maybe this year, like last year we said we were going to go to MCM Manchester until, well, we all know what's going on, so I'm not going to keep mentioning it. It got cancelled, which was absolutely heartbreaking. The year before we had a mini meet, but it wasn't really a big thing. It was just kind of a spur of the moment, let's all meet in Glasgow because some of us are going to Glasgow, and that's what we did. Question 6. Will I see my followers grow? I don't know. It's that simple. I don't know. I mean, of course they're going to grow from the fact that everyone in the club will probably start following you and you'll probably start following them, but that's not why we do this. Question 7. Can I talk to other clubs? No, of course you can talk to any club you want. I mean, it's about the comic community. There's no reason why we should not be able to speak to anyone that's into comic books. The only rule we have is you can't be in the Comic Book Fiend Club and join another club. It's just one of these rules we have. It's just because, obviously, for us, we want people representing the Comic Book Fiend Club and the Comic Book Fiend Club only. We don't really have any other affiliations. We have affiliations with artists and comics, but we don't have any other affiliations with any other club. Though there is no hate there, we've got nothing but love for everyone in the comic community. Anyway guys, I'll try to keep that nice and short. I hope I've covered everything that you guys wanted to know, and if not, please feel free to message me or write in the comments below and I'll get right back to you as soon as I can, or another member will. If you're applying this year, I want to say best of luck to everyone that does apply. If you don't get in, please reapply. It's just that simple. We say it all the time. We have so many people apply. It's hard to engage with you and it's hard to get to know you in such a short period. Sometimes just taking a year to get to know us is probably the best thing you can do, because then we get to know you as much as you get to know us, and that way we can see if you fit the club, and more importantly, if the club fits you, because that's what matters here, is everyone clicking together. Anyway, even if you don't want to join the club and you've watched this video, thank you for giving us the views. Thank you for subscribing, thank you for liking, and please feel free to talk to us at any point in time, especially at Comic Cons and especially about comics. Anyway guys, have a good one, see you later.